So today in this class, we discuss the analyze data and pivot table. So first, you can see my data. I want to some summary with data, and we want to using the pivot table. Okay. So if you use the Excel 2021, it means 365. Then in the home menu bar, you have the one new feature, analyze the data. So when you click the analyze the data, check your pivot and check your data and give the sum summary. Okay. And if you have useful this summary, you can use it. But I want to summary according to me. Just like I want to zone wise quantity should total quantity. So we have type here zone wise total quantity. So sold quantity. So this is work with AI and read this data and give the your details. This is the quantity and give the chart. And we have give the pivot. So we click here and now you can see give the pivot. And if you give the pie chart, give the pie chart. Okay. So you have
Okay.
entered your sentence and your Excel understand and give the solution. Okay. Just like AI. But every result in pivot table. So you can also use the recommended pivot table. In the pivot table, you can see here. Okay. So a
Okay.
recommended pivot table also give the some particular example. In this data, this type the pivot table will be possible. You can also use. But in the recommended pivot table, you can't give the your suggestion just like we have give the analyze the data. Okay. Because
Okay.
analyze the data is the latest features and recommended pivot is the old feature. So now we discussed why use the pivot table. So in the office you have used the Excel for make the reporting. But what is the report? What is the report? So report is the summary of the data. Any report you can make the report with summary of the data. Okay. But problem is that okay, how can make the summary? So in the Excel have a pivot table for make the summarize the data, analyze the data, and represent of the data. So we can use the pivot table, analyze the data, summarize the data, and represent of the data. So first, do you use the pivot table? First, understand what your data. So my data is the sales data, the sales ID, the date, order value, sales value, quantity sold, and discount, the profit percentage, total sales, and this is the category, subcategory, region, customer type, and zone. So I want to make the report. I want to make the report which uh, which zone have a for how many our total revenue generated. Just I want to know which zone have a how many revenue bill generated. So that time we have insert the pivot table, then okay, and we have applied the pivot table. So when you have clicked the pivot table and click the OK, insert the automatically new sheet. And in the new sheet, this is your pivot area. When you click this area, so the here pivot table filled. In the pivot table, just you have moved this column field to this four section, the filter, column, value, and rows. And your summary will be generated here. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now I want to make the report zone wise total sales value. So we have put the zone in the row section. You can see here, you have the zone, but problem is that in the data you have zone multiple type, but in this figure zone is only for one type. So here is the
Mm.
only for unique value. Only for unique value.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So now I want to you can also put the zone in the column section, also row section.
Mm.
If you put the column section, report generated by column by in the column section, then row
Mm.
wise. Okay.
Okay.
And now I want to total. So which field you want to total? Put the total in the
Mm.
value section. For the calculated
Mm.
field, put in the value section. You can see here is
Mm.
the your value.
Okay.
Okay. So we
Mm.
have made the
Yes, sir.
report. And now I want to format my report just like this the row level. We have changed the row
Mm.
level to zone and here
Mm.
total revenue.
Mm.
Okay. Now I want to change the format. It's like we have removed the decimal places. You can also manually remove here and you can also click here, go to the value field setting and here the type of the
Mm.
calculation, just like sum. If you click the sum, your revenue, the sum, count and average that. In the bottom of these fields features, you can see here number format. Click on the number format and go to the number and remove the decimal places here.
Mm.
Then OK and apply. You can see
Mm.
your here. Here. I want to see the visualization. You can also use the border and color here.
Mm.
I want to see the visualization. Just like I want to see the this data in the pie chart. So go to the
Mm.
insert and select the pie chart and apply the pie chart. And also go to the
Mm.
design. You have see the multiple times of the pie chart format. So select the pie chart format and your data will be
Mm.
ready. You can right
Mm.
click here and move the sheet or send to anybody.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm. Okay.
But remember, your pivot is carry the data. Your pivot is carry your data because
Mm.
when you send the data, when you send data to anybody, yeah, people can make the report and see your data also. It
Mm.
means change the pivot table. People can change the pivot table also. Okay.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Now go to the pivot table, and now I
Mm.
want to pivot in the matrix format.
Mm.
So I want to pivot with which zone have a which type of the customer and how many quantities sell. So we have select the pivot table and go to the pivot table and OK. Now I have put the quantity in the value section because I want to sum up the quantity. It means calculation and every calculated field put in the value section. Now I want
Mm.
to customer type in the column section.
Mm.
So select the customer, put in the column section, and now shown in the row section. You can see report in the matrix format. And now you can change here also. So this is the zone. and this is the uh, sales in quantity. You can change your heading. Okay, but we can change also data. Just like here, the north is the spelling mistake. So north, we can change also the row section, also the column section. You can't change the calculated data. If you want to change 905, so you can't change. Okay, so you have changed
Okay.
your row and column section, but you can't change the value section. But remember, if you have used the column, then your column items is the low count is the small count, the small list of the small list of the your column count, column items. If you have the item larger than your pivot table long to vertical long, okay. So everybody have a problem with vertical scrolling. So you have prefer if you have a column count is the smaller, then you have used the column section in the matrix format. And if you have the more than large the column count, then use the row in the sub row. Put the row customer in the row section after the zone. You can data like this. Okay. This is summary of the summary. You can also see here, click here. Your data will be summarized. If not, in the single click. And you can use the also the analyze. In the analyze, this is the collapse or expand. Click here, expand, the expand, collapse. But this feature we can use when you have send the data as a pivot table. Okay.
Okay.
But not every time we have sent the data in the pivot table. So when I have copy this and paste to anybody, paste is special, and we have paste as a val. Okay. So now very difficult to identify which is the zone, which item the zone, and which item the your type. So now need to every field in the different columns. So that time go to the design and we have select the report layout and the tabular form. Okay. In the tabular form. You can see this is the A column, the central and zone. Now you can see also the total, but we don't want to show total. Then click here and uncheck the subtotal zone. Your subtotal is the unchecked. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now I want to repeat this item. So same, go to the analyze and here, sorry, design. Here, repeat all item label. You can repeat it. Also, you have insert the blank line after each item. But we have removed the blank. Click here, remove the blank. I want to do not repeat. You do not repeat. Now I want to merge this. So right click, pivot table options, and you have select the merge. You cannot try to merge directly, because if you try to merge directly, then you get the error. So merge and center, then okay. Now you can see your data will merge. Now I have also say every pivot store the data. So I want to the central the customer data 366. I want to see this data. Just double click here, and in the new section, new sheet have a data copy. Okay,
Okay.
it's clear.
Yes.
Okay, so I have sent this data. So please, you have practiced this data. Okay.
Okay.